You all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Anthony, would you like to do a roll call?
Mr. Burns?
Here.
Mr. Cook?
Present.
Mr. Roden?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
I was looking to ask about the master plan, so I thought I'd let him know.
You're going to make me read the public hearing? Is that what you're going to do?
No, I'd like to
You're
read it.
sitting there all nice and can like you are.
I'm ready and looking forward to it.
He's going to look good doing it.
Town of Patterson, notice of hearing, amendments to Chapter 142 of the Patterson Town Code. Public notice is hereby given that there has been introduced before the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York on February 10, 2016, an amendment to Patterson Town Code Chapter 142 entitled Taxation, which amendment will add Section 142-6.1 to allow for the transfer of a veteran's exemption between properties located within the Town of Patterson and within Putnam County. Now therefore, pursuant to Section 20 of the Municipal Home Rule Law, the Town Board of the Town of Patterson, New York will hold a public hearing on the aforesaid amendment at the town offices, 1142 Route 311, Patterson, New York, on February 24, 2016, at 7 p.m. in the evening of that day, or as soon thereafter as may be held, at which time all persons interested therein shall be heard. The Town Board will make every effort to assure that the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and/or reasonable accommodations should contact the Town Clerk, dated February 11, 2016, by order of the Town Board, Town of Patterson, Antoinette Kopek, Town Clerk.
By way of a little bit of background on this, so everybody understands what we're looking at, I believe, Don, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 452 of real property tax law.
Yes.
Allows veterans, if they own a property within a specific municipality and they move to another property within that municipality, they can transfer their veterans exemption to that other property. That's assuming that the town adopts a local law to implement that. Patterson never actually did that. Last year, in large part to Senator Murphy, who represents our area, they passed a law at the state level that was signed into law in December of this year, which extends that to veterans living within the county, can transfer within different towns that veterans exemption. So we've decided it's not that great an impact to the taxes of the town. Veterans get a nice little break, but it's not a tremendous break. But in recognition of all the years of service that they provided to our community, we want to push this forward and get it on the books so that they, if anybody transfers within the town, they can have the ability to bring that exemption with them.
It's 458, Rich.
458, I'm sorry. So, open it up to public hearing, public comment. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Going once. Going twice. Standing room only here.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Can I get an audit of the bills?
I'll make a motion that the town board approve abstract number 3, dated February 11th, 2016, in the amount of $860,286.76. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Cook.
That's me. Next, we have on the agenda concerning the Veterans Park Committee. We started this conversation last meeting and we tabled it, so we're going to bring it back in all its glory. Carrie Weisenecker, current chairperson of the Parks Advisory Board, is resigning effective March 16th, 2016, for family reasons. And Carrie, as we talked about last meeting, has done a great job as a member and as the chairperson of the Parks Advisory Board. And we sincerely thank her for her dedication and her hard work with regard to the park. So I will make a motion that the town board accept Carrie Weisenecker's resignation as the chairperson and member of the Veterans Parks Advisory Board, effective March 16, 2016. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, one of the current members of the Veterans Parks Advisory Board, Mr. Joe Downey, has expressed an interest in doing the chairperson's role. He sent a letter into the board. So we had appointed Mr. Downey last year or the year before to the board, so he's fully knowledgeable and has worked closely with all the other board members. So I will make a motion that the town board approve Mr. Joseph Downey to be the chairperson of the Veterans Memorial Park Advisory Board, effective March 17th, 2016, with a stipend as per the town's 2016 budget. So moved.
And this is to fill the unexpired term of Kerry Weisnicker
No, he'll still continue his term. I thought
as
that...
chairman. Go
Yes,
for a year.
yes, through December 2016, correct. Yes, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, along the same lines, we have, I'm going to make a motion that the town board approve Barbara Ferreira to be a full member of the Veterans Park Advisory Board. Barbara has been an alternate last year into this year. So I'll make a motion that the town board approve Barbara Ferreira to be a full member of the Veterans Park Advisory Board, fulfilling Carrie Weisenecker's term, which expires 12/20. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried.
Alrighty.
Mr. Rogan?
Does Mr. Cook have anything else?
No.
You're all set? Okay. Alrighty. I have a request from Matt Chabarro, our Director of Recreation, for a position change for Teddy Erickson. Matt wrote a really nice supportive letter for Teddy, saying that he's one of his hardest working junior staff members and probably the most responsible person he has working for him. And this pay increase will bring Teddy to the senior staff position at $10 an hour. So I'll move that we approve Matt Chabarro's request. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I guess Teddy won't get rich on that job, but
No.
he's working his way up. We have also a request through the Town of Patterson's non-bid procurement policy for the Recreation Department to purchase some trophies for the basketball program. It's a total of 190 trophies. They range from $5 to $6.99 a piece, so the low bidder is Trophy Depot at a total cost of $1,079.90. So I'll move that we approve that request to purchase those trophies. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And I have two requests from the Patterson seniors, Putnam Lake seniors, I'm sorry, to go to the Westchester Broadway Dinner Theater. One is on June 8th to see Happy Days. It's for 42 participants. And the other is on October 12th to see Saturday Night Fever. Including transportation, the budgeted cost when you deduct the income that they charge the folks is $1,923 for each trip. So I'll move to approve both of those requests. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's all I have.
Carried. Okay, I have a resolution adopting local law number 2 of 2016, the veterans exemption, which we just had a public hearing on, which... How's that?
Yeah.
Better? Okay. I've got a resolution here introducing local law, or actually approving local law number 2 of 2016, the veterans exemption law, which I'd like to introduce. Do I have a second?
Second.
Without objection, we will enter it into the minutes as though read. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next thing on my agenda, and I don't see it here, I don't know if anybody else has seen it. Within our personnel policy, there are a number of individuals who need to provide the town monthly activity reports. However, there's nothing in our personnel policy setting a date, so there's always a lot of confusion. I'd like to bring some consistency in this, so I did draft a memo. I believe, Sue, that the date that we had set up was for the 20th
Of the following month?
of the following
month.
month.
That's plenty of time.
So, just wanted to bring it to your attention, get your okey dokey, so to speak, that we set that as policy.
So that would include like dog catcher, Dave Raines, the
ECI.
Dave-
ECI?
Dave
okay.
Brains is currently not listed in the personnel policy,
Okay,
but we had a discussion with the building inspector, and it was my understanding that he would
was gonna be included or complying,
included
right.
in
Okay.
going forward.
Great.
yeah, no, I think
I
that
like
makes,
that
I
idea.
think that makes sense.
Okay. So then
That
we'll-
includes recreation department, their reports they do monthly, correct?
That includes anybody that does an activity log that leaves the building for town business, where they're gonna go, what
Oh,
they're
okay.
doing, the time, the reason. So we have a good understanding about when somebody is not in the building doing their job here, what they're doing out in the field.
And how will we communicate the 20-day timeframe to them, just by email, that this is
Well,
now?
I've got a memo that was drafted, I
Formally,
thought it would be
okay.
in the packet.
Can I just back up a minute, because now I realize that I'm slightly confused on this. Are these time and activity reports, or are these the monthly reports that we were getting at various times for departments?
These are not the monthly reports that you would get from the supervisor, the ECI,
They're not.
or the building department. The building department does 2 different monthly reports. One has to do with building permits and finances. This is an activity log.
Okay, can we also include the time frame? Because we were just mentioning last meeting that we don't get all of the reports from ECI, from DOG, from recreation, all at the same time prior to a meeting. It was on the agenda, and some of them, remember we had it on the agenda last month? And it was, I'd like to formalize that so we get them emailed to us, or at least copied, before they get put on an agenda, and preferably a few days before they get put on an agenda.
Okay, we can take a look at that, and if it fits in,
Okay.
then we certainly can add that in.
But now for time and activity, the part that I'm confused about is if someone does time and activity reports for being out of the office for a particular month, why do we give them 20 days to have, they should be in within a week of the end of the month. To me, that's
Depending
a
on
lot. You don't
depending on-
remember what you've done. I mean, it's hard. It's easier, my point is it's easier to get time and activity quickly after you've done it.
Well, you
than-
bring up the ECI. The ECI does these monthly reports, but he's not in the building.
Understood.
And he's a part-time individual. Same with Alan, who does the report. So I felt it was reasonable to give everybody 20 days, but then to establish a cutoff date.
So it's
we knew
basically
we had
for
to-
submission, so if they're doing them weekly, that's great,
Sure.
but the deadline is you must have them filed within 20 days of the end of the month.
Because at 21 days, I can go back to them and say,
Right.
where's your report?
All right.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes.
Or is it a way to establish the date so that we all get it before the second meeting of the month?
Keep it the same date of the month, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing 20 days
Yeah.
in, it should.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
Sounds
Thank you.
good.
You like that, huh? Okay, Mr. Burns.
All right, first item on my agenda is a carryover request. I have a carryover request from, I don't know, do I say a name or do I just say an employee? An employee of the town whose anniversary date is March 25th. Her daughter is expecting her first child on March 28th, and she'd like to use her accrued vacation time once her daughter delivers. So this is just a short carryover, which is allowed under Section 802 of our employee handbook.
So she'd like to carry over 7 days. So I'll make a motion that we approve the employee's request to carry over 7 days of accrued vacation to such time when she can take it after her daughter delivers her baby. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Second item on my agenda is budget transfers. Budget transfer number 4 is a transfer of $47,268.50 from funded balances, capital projects, carried over to snow removal for $40,000 and $7,000 for special services. Hamlet construction, I think one of these had to do with the salt shed, which is was funded last year, but hasn't been paid, so we're just carrying monies over to the current year. And I think the other one had to do with just monies saved for the laws litigation, I believe. So that's that budget transfer request. Budget transfer request 5, 6, and 7 all have to do with balancing workers' compensation insurance in several departments. We changed our workers' comp carrier, and overall we're saving money, but there were certain accounts in certain departments that were underfunded. So these budget transfers then appropriately fund those workers' compensation insurance funds. So budget transfer request 5 is $10,000 within highway to state retirement, medical insurance, and workers' comp. That's actually 2 appropriated funds taking away from those. Budget transfer 6 is $9,270 to workers' comp taken out of state retirement and medical insurance. Budget transfer request, and that's actually for sanitation. Budget transfer request 7 is for Veterans Park District. It's $354 between park contractual and workers' comp. So I make a motion to approve budget transfers 4, 5, 6, and 7 as read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And that is all I have.
Any town board member have any other business? Okay, I have 2 items I'd like to add. The first one has to do with sanitation district number 1.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just by way of a little information, last week was the last week for suburban carting to pick up within the town of Patterson. Somewhere they didn't get the memo. It was clearly spelled out in their contract. So they did pick up today. AAA followed them around. And I believe AAA placed a lot of flyers out. We are changing the date, so everybody is aware, we are changing the date of sanitation pickup within Putnam Lake area, sanitation district number 1. Starting next week, sanitation will be picked up, garbage will be picked up on Thursday, and recycling will be picked up on Friday. So, apologize for any inconveniences. We're hoping this will be a smooth and seamless transition, but a little bit of a glitch. The second thing I'd like to add on my agenda has to do with highway and the advertising for bids.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We received a memo today, or I received a memo today from Russ Goff. He would like to advertise the bids for wash sand and ice control, crushed stone, bituminous concrete laid in place, annual tree work, and diesel fuel. Can I get a motion to allow highway to advertise for bids?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And that is it for me. Public recognition? Does any member of the public have any thing they'd like to bring before the board? Get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wow, that's